Alright, so Young Swayde reviewing Logic, The Incredible True Story. Definitely a great album. I mean, I heard it as soon as it came out. I pre-ordered it. I love Logic. He's the reason I started getting the music. And the reason I'm gonna start reviewing albums because I feel like I've been watching all these album reviews, and I want to get my take on it. I really like this album because he's really light on the features, because he doesn't have like rapping features. He has like hook features or like singing features like R&B, like Drea or Jesse Boykins III, Lucy Rose, and he also like has a storyline behind the album. Like there's this two people who go to try and find a planet where a sustainable life is, because Earth is like basically destroyed, and they have to live on this spaceship, and they're trying to find another planet. The first track is more like an interlude than introduction to the whole album, or like a rap. It's more of like uh, interlude, like I just said. But there's like background vocals where he sings a little bit, which he does sing more than he has ever done in any of his projects on this album, which I really like. But he definitely sings a lot on the song City of Stars, which I really like, especially the second part, where he starts talking about his label. He starts talking about his label, how they undershipped him, how he worked his whole life for his one album, and he got undershipped to stores that he wanted to get to because fans went to go buy it, and they didn't get to get it because they undershipped them. I love the production on this album. I love Logic's flow. I love the style, but at times the dialogue or the story in the back can be kind of confusing because they get to their destination like that. And I'm not saying you want to make the album fucking 3 hours long, but some of the scenes in there are kind of confusing, and that leads to some confusion, I guess you wouldn't call it. But still, great production, great flow, kind of confusing storyline. He also has a song here called I Am the Greatest, which he kind of tries to make, or his producer makes, a trap kind of song, if that's what you want to call it, because in the line he says, I can flow on anything from Primo to that trap shit. And he was like showing that he could flow on any beat, anytime, with any producer. I guess that's what he was going for, because the beat is really more not as feel good, but more like trap type style beat. And I think he picked that on purpose. Say I am the greatest to mock other rappers. That's what I got from that song. The third track, Upgrade, I think it was a great song for this album. It fits in how the beat, the style, how that at the beginning there's that kind of like muffled like message, like you're sending it to an aircraft or a spaceship. The song Young Jesus with Big Lembo, I love the track. I love the feature. That is like the one rap feature that's on this song. I mean the album. And it's like an introduction to Big Lembo in his solo career when he dropped the track Protect Your Neck. And I'm very excited for him to drop a mixtape or an album or a project or another song. And he's very talented, and I think he's been hiding that for some years that he didn't know, or Logic tried to get him into rapping, or maybe Logic wrote the song for him. I'm pretty sure Big Lembo wrote the song, but it was very nice beat, that 90s Babylon era type style beat. The song Intermission with Lucy Rose, I love that song. I went to one of his concerts, and he announced that the second verse to that song is Young Sinatra 4, and if you didn't know, he has 3 songs: Young Sinatra 2, Young Sinatra 3. And he never came out with a Young Sinatra 4, and I was guessing that was going to be the verse for Young Sinatra 4 if he ever did, and he just used it for Intermission on his second studio album. the song Lord Willin' isn't really about the Lord. It's about how his progression in music, how he feels like he's changed a lot, how he's been feeling like the villain, and it's a great song, especially for this album. I don't think it would have fit well on his Under Pressure album. The song Run It, I feel like, is the bounce of this album. Bounce was like, he said, was like the turn up or the break to his first album, Under Pressure. And I feel like Run It is this song. It kind of ties in because on the song before this, he says, "Hey Bobby, run it," which is Bobby's his engineer. Overall, not much has changed flow-wise from his last album to this album, because he's been on like interviews where he's freestyled, or he's had verses that he's written, and I seen that appeared on this one, like his Tim Westwood freestyle. He used the second verse to Stainless, and flow-wise, not much has changed. Production-wise, a lot has changed, because I guess he wanted more kind of like a mellow type thing going on this album. Maybe some hard beats there like Stainless, Run It, I Am the Greatest, and the rest were pretty chill beats that go with the album, like Intermission, Paradise, and Fade Away, or Upgrade. For the rate out of 10, I'd give it a light 8 to a strong 7. It's a great album. The storyline gets kind of confusing. His flow has not changed since his last album. It's a great album. I'd recommend checking it out. I'll put the download link in the description. It's been Young Swayde reviewing The Incredible True Story. And I'm out.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, oh my God. Bitch, I run the game, y'all just commentate from the side. I'm like, oh God, oh my God. Everything I do, you know I do it for the